As we continue here on From the Press Box to Press Row, got a fun interview for you. As a matter of fact, we're joined by Miss USA. Cheslie Kryst joins us here on the program. Of course, she was also Miss North Carolina from the great state of North Carolina, representing more specifically Charlotte. As Cheslie joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Cheslie, congratulations and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. What an introduction.
I appreciate it. Now, so you're a lawyer by trade, right? So tell us a little bit. You have to serve, I guess, in essence, in this capacity for about a year. So what does that do in terms of, your being a lawyer, your law practice?
Yeah. So you're right. I was a full-time attorney when I won. And since being Miss USA is a full-time job, I'll be taking a leave of absence for a year while I serve in this capacity. So I'm so excited. But my firm has been incredible about making sure that my cases are taken care of and sort of answering phone calls and emails while I'm away.
Yeah, no, it sounds really exciting. So with that, what's your practice?
I do civil litigation. Primarily, it's just defending businesses and lawsuits. But I also do some pro bono work. And have a few really interesting, fun clients. But primarily, I deal in business-related, construction-related, and government-related disputes.
So how did, I read a little bit, but tell us how this, more specifically with Miss USA and participating in that sort of came about. I know it's sort of in your blood, if you will, in terms of pageantry. And we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, so my mom was Mrs. North Carolina 2002, so I was about 10 years old when she won and was a state title holder. And I just remember watching her and thinking, I want to be that. I want to do what she's doing. And so when I was in high school, I did my first pageant. I was Miss Freshman at Northwestern High School in Rock Hill. And then when I transferred to Fort Mill High, I competed there again and was Miss Fort Mill High my senior year.
Yeah, and so I guess this particular process in terms of being Miss USA was sort of a longer process, if you will, because you competed at the Miss North Carolina level, and it took you a couple of times to be able to finally be crowned Miss North Carolina.
Yeah, I competed at Miss North Carolina USA 3 times, one of my third attempts. But I had also competed in the Miss America system, so I had competed at Miss North Carolina and the Miss America system 2 times. So it took a lot, and I think that all of that experience just really helped. I think people often get deterred from, seeking new opportunities because they encounter, hurdles or failure or challenges. But for me, it made me a stronger contestant. I just learned a lesson every time I lost, and eventually I won, and I won big.
And I'm sure you must be like this tenacious lawyer as well, because to me, it speaks to the fact that even though maybe it didn't go well for you the first couple of times, you never gave up and continued on till you finally won.
Right, exactly. Because you have to do that when you are an attorney too, right? Because not every hearing goes your way, not every motion that you make is granted, and you have to make sure that you use new and more creative strategies to make sure that you're serving your clients. And so, competing at pageants is much of the same, and that there's a new set of judges every year, but you need to make sure that you're a stronger contestant than you were, and that you've learned and taken lessons from your previous experiences.
Cheslie Kryst is Miss USA. She joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Cheslie, when obviously, and you had been through this a couple of times, but when your name was announced as a winner, take us through that time and what was going through your mind.
Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable, honestly. I was standing there, my mind was kind of blank. I was holding hands with my first runner-up. And I remember when I won Miss North Carolina USA, my first runner-up, Laura Little, she and I both go to Elevation in Charlotte. And I remember her just saying a prayer for us. And so I did the same when I was at Miss USA, holding hands with Miss New Mexico USA. And we just stood there and just waited until they announced that North Carolina had won, and it was me. So it's still very surreal. And looking back at videos, I still can almost not believe it.
How has this sort of changed your life?
Oh, it's changed in a huge way. I mean, the day that I won is May 2nd. The very next morning, just a few hours after I'd won, at 4 a.m., we left the hotel that we were staying in, and I moved to New York City. And so it's changed. My life has changed in a big way, and that now I get to focus on advocating for Dress for Success, building my blog, White Collar Glam, that provides workwear fashion, inspiration, and resources to women, and just focusing on representing our country. And, that's a huge change from, going to work every day and being an attorney. But I've loved it. This is what I've worked for so long, and I'm just glad to be able to be here.
Cheslie Kryst is Miss USA. She joins us here on the program. So, now you're a former athlete, correct?
Yes. I was a D1 athlete, ran track and field at the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks.
Yeah, no question. So, and I know in reading some of the articles, one of the concerns maybe that you had with, and more specifically with respect to the swimsuit competition, is the fact that you were an athlete, and that right. I don't want to say judged unfairly, but a lot of times, you have these situations where maybe former athletes don't do as well in the swimsuit competition, if you will.
Right. I think in my head, I just always thought of swimsuit winners as being women who were really model-esque and had, slimmer body shapes, and I don't. I'm a former athlete. When I was in undergrad, I could squat almost 300 pounds. I could bench 135 pounds. Like, guys would stop me in the hallway and say, like, how much do you bench? You're so built. So I remember all of that, and it just worried me when I started competing in pageants. But I found that the world around me, judges, former, my fellow contestants, everybody was incredibly welcoming. And I just, found pride and confidence in the shape that I had. And so although I was initially worried, that sort of went away. I won the swimsuit competition when I was at Miss North Carolina USA twice, and at Miss North Carolina, the Miss America system a couple of times. So eventually my sort of insecurity turned into just confidence.
Now, was there some kind of, I didn't see the pageant, but was there some kind of snafu during the swimsuit competition?
Yeah, there was. So when we compete in finals, every woman who competes in the swimsuit competition has a sarong. It's sort of a wrap that you can carry sort of across your shoulder or in your hand or around your waist. Mine was tied around my waist. I tied it, and I practiced taking it off. So you're supposed to take it off about halfway through your walk. So I was practicing backstage, and when I started walking, I was trying to take my sarong off, and it would not come off. It was knotted. And so it took me a while to get it off, and I was really worried. But eventually I was like, you know what, I'm out here, I'm having fun. It's, I'm having a great time. It's fine that, it took me a little longer than other people.
Yeah. A couple of more thoughts with Cheslie Kryst, Miss USA. She joins us here on the program. How good a track and field athlete were you at the University of South Carolina?
Well, I was pretty good. So when I left, I was top 10 in the record books for the triple jump. Wow. But I also competed in the long jump. I placed second at Penn Relays, which is a huge meet, during my senior year. And I'd also competed in the heptathlon for a couple of years. But my sophomore year, I was injured. I had stress fractures in my spine, and so I just switched to long jump and triple jump. And I felt pretty good about it.
Wow. How were you able to come? I mean, that's pretty serious. So, how were you able to come back from that and still have the success that you ultimately had?
A lot of rehab. So, the University of South Carolina has a huge athletics program, and we have a lot of incredible trainers who helped me along the way. So a lot of my injury was contributed to by just overwork. The heptathlon is 7 events. It's 100-meter hurdles, 200, 800, long jump, high jump, shot put, and javelin. And so you can imagine, training for all those events, it just takes a lot out of you. So that's one of the reasons why I just switched to just long jump and triple jump. Those are my real passions.
Absolutely. I don't know if you pronounce her name, Callie or Kaylee Garris is Miss Teen USA, Nia Franklin.
Yeah, Kaylee Garris.
Kaylee, yep. And then, of course, Nia Franklin, Miss America, and then yourself as Miss USA. 3 African-American women holding the crown at one time. Never has happened before. And rarely, I mean, when you even think about it, I mean, it's rare that, black women are even, whether it's Miss Teen USA, Miss America, Miss USA. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's really important to me, especially knowing some of the origins of pageantry, knowing that, decades ago, there were some national pageants that would not allow black contestants to compete. And that's kind of where, competitions like Miss Black USA or Miss Black America emerged because black women could not compete. We were not allowed to. So now having Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, and Miss America all be women of color is incredible, especially knowing kind of where pageantry started.
Yeah. So now SI Swimsuit Edition just came out. Any thoughts of doing that down the road?
I don't know, but I'm really excited to see the diversity that has been featured in the magazine. I saw Tyra Banks is back, which is really exciting, and Alima's in there. I mean, it's so exciting to see the different kinds of beauty that our society is celebrating nowadays. So I've loved seeing all the people that they've been featuring in the current issue.
Last 2 thoughts. Again, give us your platform one more time.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to advocate for this year is Dress for Success. It's an international organization that focuses on economic independence for women, and one of the programs they provide is a suiting program where they give clothing for free to women who can't afford suits for interviews. So, I love the program. I'm happy to advocate for it, and it's really, really important to me.
Awesome. And then lastly, so I guess one of the next things for you is Miss Universe, the Miss Universe pageant.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Well, I've already started thinking about like my evening gown, thinking about my national costume, and just thrilled that I get the chance to be up there. I've watched the competition for years, and now it gets to be me, like walking across the stage wearing USA on my sash.
Awesome. And tell us how we can follow you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Cheslie Kryst or at Miss USA. I'm also on Twitter at Cheslie Kryst and at Miss USA. And you can find my blog online at whitecollarglam.com.
She is the one and only Cheslie Kryst. She is Miss USA. She joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Cheslie, know you're extremely busy. Thank you for taking a couple of moments to spend with us. Continued success in all your endeavors.
Oh, thank you. And thanks so much for having me. Have a good morning.